mo ba makita editan? Wait lang. Pulot naman ito ng kutsilyo.
Good afternoon once again. In 5 minutes, we will start. On board na po ba si Sir Mario Garcia, sir? Sir Mario, are you on board po?
Yes, good afternoon.
In 5 minutes, sir, we will start our seminar po.
Okay.
Once again, good afternoon. We will just wait for our MC to log in. Is having a technical difficulty as to connection. And also, Dr. Montalba is logging in also. So, hintay lang tayo ng sandali.
Okay.
John Mark Aguilar, are you on board now? Sir Simon, please promote John Mark Aguilar as panelists.
Yes, sir. Ano pong pangalan po niya, sir? JM? Or ano ba?
Yes, parang GM po, GM Aguilar.
Wala pa pong ganong name, sir.
John Mark po yung name talaga, sir. John Mark. Pa-promote po,
Okay.
sir.
Yes po. Okay, promoting John Mark Aguilar. Pa-accept po. Okay, promoted na po si John Mark Aguilar.
Nakalagin na po ba, sir, si...
Hello, sir. Good
Ah,
afternoon, sir.
hello, Sir Simon. Joining
Yes
po
po.
si Edmond Talba, joining po. Pa-accept na lang, sir. Tapos paano po, promote na rin sa kanya
Sige sir, wala naman po itong ano sir, hindi siya minamanually accept, basta magre-register lang sila ng data nila and then makakapasok agad sila. When I see Dr. Montalva, i-promote ko po agad. Ayan. Promoting Dr. Ed Montalva as panelist. Sir,
Sige
pakisab.
po.
Okay. Okay, promoted na po si Doc Ed.
Sir Montalba, sir, please give us a signal if we're going to start our seminar, sir.
Yeah, let us now start. Pasensya na, nasa sasakyan ako.
Sige po, sir. Mr. MC, start now.
Again, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So it is a pleasure to be meeting again and attending this virtual seminar about green criminology, environmental crimes and protections, to be shared to us by Dr. Mario Garcia, sir. So again, to our Dean of NEMCO College of Criminal Justice Education, Sir Montalba, to our professor, our course instructor, Professor Janery Kailing, our honored guest, Dr. Mario Garcia, to Chapter House Publishing, sirs. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to our Green Criminology virtual orientation. So to start with, let us lend our ears and eyes to our invocation and national anthem to be played.
Dear God, thank you for the opportunity to meet together. Please help us to come together to make this institution reflect your kingdom. Breathe life into our ideas and decisions. Help us build a team that has love and respect at its heart. Give us the strength to continue working for your kingdom in this time of pandemic. Lord, come give us the inspiration to be the best we can be. May we be a shining example of your goodness and truth within, wherever we are. Inspire our thoughts, discussions, and ideas, and continue to remind us that all that we do here today, all that we accomplish, is for the pursuit of truth for the greater glory of you. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Hayang magiliw, telas ng sinananan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Upang hinirang, tuyagan ang magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisingil, sa nagatang tulong sa simoy at sa langit ng wagaw, kahilan ang tulad, awit sa pagkayang minamahal, ang islang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na naghihindig, ang ituloy
So students, please settle yourselves and make yourselves comfortable. So get ready of your ball pens and notebooks, as you will learn a lot from this seminar. So to formally welcome us all in this afternoon's virtual seminar, D. Kailing for his welcome address.
Once again, good afternoon, everyone, especially to our resource speaker, Dr. Mario E. Garcia, and of course to our Dean of the College of Criminal Education, same time, the Vice President for Northeastern Mindanao Colleges, the ever dynamic and handsome Dean of our college, Dr. Edwin Timontalba, sir. Good afternoon, and to all of you, our dear students. This type of seminar is very timely and fitting, considering that the issues and concern when it comes to our Mother Earth or to our motherland is being neglected not only by our leaders in our country, but it is also the same problem with the other country. So it is very important that as future vanguards of justice, you must possess a thorough and deep understanding as to the environmental laws. And by knowing this kind of seminar, somehow you can also uh, protect in your own and in your own little way as you care for our environment, because the real threat in our society is not only crime, but the real threat is climate change. And whether you like it or not, all of us will be affected by this problem. So our dear students, I would like to welcome you all to this crimes and protection. Once again, good afternoon, MC.
So
Mr.
thank you
MC.
so much, Sir Kailing, for welcoming us. So I'm very sorry, sir, because we're having technical problems here in Surigao. So again, thank you so much, Sir Kailing, for that welcome address. And now may I call on our Dean of the College of Criminal Justice Education, and at the same time, our Vice President for Dean, Dr. Edwin T. Montalba, afternoon seminar.
Yes, good afternoon. I hope that my audio is clear. I do not know what is the weather condition in Surigao because I am outside the province at the moment, but it's actually here in my location. It's raining, so I hope that my audio is clear. Well, it is with great pleasure and enthusiasm that I join you in this very interesting topic on green criminology and, of course, the environmental crimes and protections. As fourth-year criminology students, you are on the brink of embarking on your professional careers. And of course, understanding the dynamics of this emerging field is crucial for addressing the challenges we eventually face in the realm of environmental protections and sustainability. I would like to extend my warm welcome, of course, to our esteemed speaker, my good friend, Dr. Mario Garcia, whose expertise and knowledge in the field of green criminology make him an invaluable resource of our seminar today. Eventually, Dr. Garcia has dedicated his life in studying and combating environmental crimes. And we are, of course, very fortunate to have him share his insights and experiences with us. But of course, before we will give the floor to Dr. Garcia, let us delve into the rationale behind behind organizing the seminar. So basically, the world we live now, or the world we live in, is undergoing significant ecological changes, driven by human activities that eventually threaten the the delicate balance of our ecosystem. So environmental crimes such as illegal logging, wildlife trafficking, the toxic waste dumping, and illegal fishing are on the rise. Eventually, ito yung napakalaking problema natin ngayon. So, in the face of these challenges, it is imperative for us as aspiring criminologists to understand the relationship between crime and the environment. So, green criminology provides a holistic perspective that focuses on the criminal aspects of environmental harm, and eventually examine how social, economic, and political factors contribute to these crimes. So by studying this field, we can not only comprehend complexities surrounding environmental crimes, but also identify effective strategies to prevent and respond to them. So moreover, the seminar aims to set a clear direction for all of you, the fourth-year criminology students who are about to embark in your on your professional journeys. By deepening your knowledge on green criminology, you will be equipped with a unique skill set to tackle environmental crimes and contribute to building a more sustainable future. So understanding the mechanism behind these crimes will, of course, allow you to develop innovative solutions, designs, effective policies, and collaborate with stakeholders from diverse fields to combat environmental crimes. So throughout today's seminar, this is just a matter of one or a couple of hours. Dr. Mario Garcia will, of course, provide you with valuable insight into the various dimensions of green criminology. He will explore case studies, share his experiences, and eventually shed light on the theoretical frameworks that underpin this field of the study. So additionally, I do believe that he will also discuss the interdisciplinary nature of criminology. So emphasizing the need for collaboration between criminologists and the policymakers, even the environmental scientists and the community stakeholders to address environmental crimes comprehensively. So I urge everyone to please actively participate in this seminar, engage in discussions, and ask thought-provoking questions, because this is an opportunity for you to expand your horizons, challenge existing paradigms, and envision a world where environmental justice prevails. So by being here this afternoon, you have already taken the first step towards becoming an agent of change in the field of environmental protection. This seminar also can deepen your knowledge on environmental crimes, and eventually can help you as you prepare for the board exam comes January. So as we commence this seminar on green criminology and the environmental crimes and protection, let us remember that the choices we make today will shape the world we leave behind for future generations. So it is our collective responsibility to safeguard our planet, preserve its biodiversity, and ensure that the rule of law extends to the protection of our environment. So once again, I extend my warmest welcome to Dr. Mario Garcia and express my gratitude to all of you for being part of this seminar. So especially special mention to the chapter house. Thank you very much for always helping us with regards to our webinars, and by providing us very good speakers, very competent speakers. So together, let us pave the way for a greener, safer, and more just future. Thank you ug maayong hapon sa tanan.
Thank you so much, sir, for the clear and detailed direction setting and rationale of this afternoon's webinar. So may I call on our chapter house publishing representative for the introduction of our esteemed speaker.
Good afternoon, everyone. So our speaker for this afternoon is a faculty of the College of Criminal Justice Education in Kalinga State University, an alumni of the Philippine College of Criminology, and is also the president of FCCI. Our lecturer, or to give us a talk on green criminology, environmental crimes and protections, we have with us Dr. Mario A. Garcia.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Do I
sir.
have now the line?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Okay, so mga ilan ang ano natin, nakalink na audience natin?
We have
We have
360.
Okay. So wait, how can I upload my presentation?
Sir, I think you can ano po, you can share naman po.
Wait.
Share screen po, sir. Share screen.
Kaya nahana, ayun, share screen. Okay. So basic lang itong kan natin ha. Presentation. Wait lang and I will set up. Is my slide now visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, okay, I have now the line. Thank you to the Southern Mindanao Group for initiating this. How about my audio?
Yes, sir. The audio is loud and clear.
How about my audio? Do I arrive loud and clear?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So again, thank you, Sir Ed and Sir Yanni.
Yes, sir. Thank you also,
You're
sir. Thank you,
really
sir.
doing great in your area by sponsoring a seminar to our students on this subject matter.
Thank you, sir.
Tama yung sinabi ni Dr. Ed na it is now the problem of today's generation. Environmental abuses, because to me, I define these environmental abuses as actually a crime against humanity. These are not specific crimes because there are no individuals that are being affected. But what is affected is the entire humanity. So let us go over on the concept of our environmental laws and protection in the Philippine setting. So accordingly, this refers to the engagement of man in its environment and the use of resources to sustain life. Moreover, these privileges were abused that resulted to various disasters that brought suffering to the very people it's supposed to serve. So, ano-ano ba yung mga causes nito? At ano-ano yung mga several impacts ng mga environmental abuses? Are our existing green laws effective in regulating these abuses? By the way, it is internationally accepted that laws in relation to environment are considered green laws. Hence, the violation of it is also considered green crimes. And the investigation of which and filing cases of which is also known as green forensic. So, yun ang konsepto na pag-aaralan natin ngayon. Ano ba ang foundation nitong mga green criminology issues na to? We have here the United Nations Framework Convention on climate change. What is all about climate change? So parties, signatories to this, agree and acknowledge that change in Earth climate is adverse. It is adverse to all living things, plants, animals, and humanity. These are all what they call climate reverses. Reverses in the sense that it is no longer normal. It is no longer adaptable to the existence of living things. That's why it is called climate reverses. Okay. So, how does the universal community define climate change? It was defined as significant long-term changes in the global climate. The global climate is a connected system of sun, earth, ocean, and all others. They include forests, deserts, savannas, etc. But global climate is more than the average of the climate of specific places. So, what is the evolution of a climate system? So these are all contributories to our climate or environment. You have the atmosphere, volcanoes, the earth crust, etc. So what is all about climate system? The description of global climate includes how, for example, the rising of temperature of the Pacific feeds, typhoons which blow harder, drop more, cause more damage, but also shift global oceans, current and melt Antarctic ice, which slowly make sea level rise until New York will be underwater. The other day, I have read an article which state, among others, that in 2050, in the Philippines alone, there will be at least 7 cities that will be erased in the map. And this may be the effect of this melting of Antarctica ice that rises the sea level. What is the effect of climate change? It causes global warming. And if we talk on global warming, it is the slow increase in the average temperature of the Earth's atmosphere, because an increase in amount of energy is striking the Earth from the sun is being trapped in the atmosphere and not radiate out in space. So this heat or this energy causes severe damage to the Earth's surface. Kaya tayo, ang dami natin nararamdaman, ang dami natin hindi maintindihan na sakit, na umaapekto sa kabuhayan natin lahat. This is all about climate change and global warming. Now, what specifically causes this global warming? Yung tawag nila dyan ay greenhouse effect. And what is greenhouse, by the way? It composed of several elements or substance in the atmosphere that will obstruct or will not absorb the energy that are being refracted from the Earth's surface going back to the atmosphere. Thus, it creates the so-called atmospheric friction. Of course, we understand when we talk about friction. When there is a friction or two objects that are scratching each other, it will produce more heat. So with this atmospheric friction principle or phenomena will now increase to an exponential level yung Earth's surface temperature. Now, how does global warming, climate change? Take note that heat is energy by itself, and when you add energy to any system, change will occur. Because all systems in the global climate systems are connected, adding heat energy causes the global climate as a whole to change. As we are now experiencing, sabi nila, El Nino pa raw ngayon. So despite of the presence of that called super typhoon, here in our place in northern Luzon, the heat is still unbearable. It's good in your place that it is raining, that at least the temperature is moderate. But long time ago, in our place, the temperature is moderate. But because of abuses that our forests were denuded, now many of our places are now turning into deserts. You cannot grow any more plants because of extreme heat. Taking, for example, the Cagayan Valley region. If you happen to visit our place, you go to Cagayan Valley region, Ilocos region, you will feel the extreme heat, and you find out that growing crops in these places are so difficult. But long time ago, these places were the crop hub of northern Luzon. What causes global warming, by the way? Accordingly, there are three positions on global warming. First, global warming is not occurring, and so neither is climate change. Itong first position na to, ang mga defendant dito, sabi nila, actually, what we feel is a constant evolution of nature. They said that any abnormality that is brought about by nature. And the second position, that global warming and climate change are occurring, but these are natural, cyclic events unrelated to human activity. So they are trying to defend their position in saying that these are just natural and cyclic events which are unrelated to humanity. Kaya lagi nilang sinasabi, kung ano man yung mga nangyayari na nararamdaman at nakikita natin, these are force majeure. Now, the third position is that global warming is occurring as a result primarily of human activity. And so climate change is also the result of human activity. These positions, ladies and gentlemen, are subject to research and arguments. But to me, as your speaker this afternoon, I go with number 3, that the global warming, why it is occurring, it is primarily because of human abuses to our environment. What are the UN principles of climate change? Accordingly, they take note that the largest share of historical and current global emission of greenhouse gases has originated in developed countries. Per capita emission in developing countries are still relatively low, and that the share of global emission originating in developing countries will grow to meet their social and development needs. Talking of development, if we read all our special laws in relation to environmental laws, you always find out there sustainable development. But what is all about this sustainable development? Is there really an object or an object activity or program that really sustain development? The global community are aware of the role and importance in terrestrial and maritime ecosystem of sinks and reservoirs to greenhouse gases. Noting also that there are many uncertainties in predictions of climate change, particularly with regard to timing, magnitude, and regional patterns thereof. Also acknowledging that the global nature of climate change calls for the widest possible cooperation by all countries and their participation in an effective and appropriate international response in accordance with their common but differentiated responsibilities and respective capabilities and their social and economic condition. These are the premises that the UN is trying to uphold and convincing all UN member countries to contribute into environmental development or environmental sustained development. However, as we observe empirically, everywhere we see, everywhere we know, we are watching the rise of technologization and urbanization. This technologization and urbanization really reverses nature, which makes man exchange their living standards into synthetic lifestyle and forgetting natural way of living. What are these countries that are great contributors of greenhouse? In February 6, 2023, it was found out that Qatar has the highest per capita carbon dioxide emission worldwide at 35.6 metric tons per person. Many countries in the Middle East had high level of emission, especially when compared to countries in Africa. We all know and we all understand that the Middle East countries are all almost covered by deserts. And their living style are highly urbanized and highly technical. Who is also the biggest polluter in the world? So allegedly, the United States. This is also based on an issue on October 26, 2022, which states that since 1959, the United States has put more than 334 billion tons or 303 billion metric tons of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, about 21.5% of the global total. Those figures are based on how much carbon dioxide is spewed within national borders. And this is caused by industrialization. We've got to understand that most industrialized countries are really emitters of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So it does not only affect the atmosphere, it affects water, it affects air. Everything is being polluted. So in the Philippines, we have a law that seeks to promote clean air for a healthy living. This is RA 8749, known as the Clean Air Act. So what is the purpose of the law? In Section 3, Declaration of Policies, it states that to formulate a holistic national program of air pollution management, to encourage cooperation and self-regulation among citizens and industries through the application of market-based instruments, focus primarily on pollution prevention rather than on control, promote public information and education, formulate and enforce system of accountability. So the great issue now here is who are accountable? Let us ask ourselves, are we accountable? The pollution of our air. Those using vehicles, those industries that are emitting carbon dioxide, are they responsible enough? Do they take consideration onto the welfare of the people? Hence, let us try to define what is air pollution. How can we say that the air is polluted? So as defined, air pollution has always been an issue that poses a threat to all living things, including humans, animals, and plants. The said impact of air contamination would incorporate a worldwide temperature alteration, global warming, acid rain, depletion of ozone layer, effect on wildlife, medical issues, and others. Air pollution is a mixture of particulate matter, metals, and other gases and compounds, and causes decrease in happiness and increase in depression. If you happen to visit the highly urbanized cities like Davao, Cebu, Metro Manila, and look up in the air, what do you observe? Look up in the atmosphere. What do you observe? Do you have a clear vision, or you have an obstructed vision? Section 21, pollution from motor vehicles. Okay. So air pollution, usually the highest contributor are vehicles, because vehicles are using fossil fuels. That is why our government are promoting new breed of vehicles that use electrical energy. So the DOTC shall implement the emission standard for motor vehicles set pursuant to and as provided in this act. To further improve the emission standards, the department shall review, revise, and publish the standards every 2 years or as the need arises. It shall consider maximum limits for all major pollutants to ensure substantial improvement in air quality for the health, safety, and welfare of the general public. The DOTC deputized the LTO to conduct smoke emission on vehicles. But sadly, many of these smoke testing businesses are not really observing what is being set as the standard. They fake results just for money. That's why in our place, it has been 2 years that the two emission testing centers here were closed, because it was found out that they obliterate the result of the test for a fee. Our picture here, this is how pollution caused by vehicles. Section 31, greenhouse gases. Because this smokes from vehicles contributes to greenhouse gases. The Philippine Atmospheric, Geographical, and Astronomical Service Administration shall regularly monitor meteorological factors affecting environmental conditions, including ozone depletion and greenhouse gases, and coordinate with the department in order to effectively guide air pollution monitoring and standard setting activities. Well, we do not know if we have a monthly, quarterly, or semi-annually or annual statistics by PAG-ASA to remind us or to inform us regarding our air standards. But it still have to see one. So what constitute these greenhouse gases? Okay. These charts here gives us the monitoring of different gases or elements in the atmosphere that constitute greenhouse gases. Who are the world's top 3 emitters that contribute 16 times the greenhouse gas emission of the bottom of 100? The top 10 greenhouse gas emitters includes China, Europe, and the United States, which contribute around 41.5% of total global emission, while the bottom 100 countries only account for at least 3.6% collectively. So we are part of these 100 countries. As has been published in one article, that the Philippines' contribution regarding greenhouse emission of the Philippines is only around 0.05%. So maybe we have the least contribution to global pollution. However, as to the impact of global pollution, as we all know that the earth is turning, evolving or revolving, we suffer a lot. Because whenever our country will intersect with the with the polluted atmospheres, we will suffer the same as other countries do. And yet, we have the least emission of air pollution. The energy sector is the biggest greenhouse gas emitter, but action in every sector counts. Since reporting began in 1990, the energy sector, including electricity, transport, manufacturing, buildings, fugitives, and other fossil fuels, remain the largest contributor of GHG emission over any other sectors, representing 70% of global emission, as per report in 2017. So this manufacturing, buildings, transportation, electricity, these are brought about by urbanization, technologization, industrialization. So the issue here now is that it's industrialization, technologization, and urbanization beneficial or not beneficial? These are the issues that yours truly is trying to impose upon each and every one of us to think about it. So, in order for us to choose, which do we want? Nature or development? Development in terms of industry, technology, urbanization, and others, which are all synthetic. Many emitters are slowing down or reducing emissions. This is brought about by the UN sanctions and UN agreements, no, to use other means or other sources of energy in order to lessen the use of fossil fuels. So we can use other source of energies like the solar system. Yet we can still enjoy the required energy that our industry, that our urban communities requires. These are an example of industries. As you can see, the carbon dioxide being emitted by these industries, it directly goes up to the atmosphere. And because, of course, elements of these gases are heavier than air, slowly all these elements will fall down on the ground that will cause severe impact to both animals, human, and plants. Let us have a look on a certain jurisprudence in relation to air pollution. This is a case of Hilarion Hinares et al. And the Land Transportation Regulation Board. The facts of the case states this way. Citing statistics from national and international agencies, petitioners prayed for a writ of mandamus commanding respondent Land Transportation Franchising Regulatory Board and the Department of Transportation and Communication to require public utility vehicles to use compressed natural gas as alternative fuel. Okay. So they are proposing a compressed gas or CNG in exchange of fossil fuel. So what was the main issue here? Whether the respondent is the proper agency responsible to implement the suggested alternative of requiring public utility vehicles to use compressed natural gas. Whether the respondent can be compelled to require public utility vehicles to use compressed natural gas through a writ of mandamus. Anong sinabi ng korte? Mandamus is available only to compel the doing of an act specifically enjoined by law as a duty. Here, there is no law that mandates the respondents at LTFRB and the DOTC to order owners of vehicles to use CNG. At most, LTFRB has been tasked by Executive Order 290 in paragraph 4.5, Section 4 to grant preferential and exclusive certificate of public convenience or franchise to operate NGVs based on result of DOTC survey. Ito, hugas kamay. No? Nagpetition ang mga tao nang sa ganon, ma-regulate ang smoke belching, lalo sa mga highly urbanized countries. And yet, ang LTFRB at DOTC, sabi nila, hindi nila yung tungkulin. So sino ngayon ang mag-i-implement? Nakikita naman natin na ang sama na talaga ang lagay ng hangin sa mga highly urbanized places. And yet, supposedly, these agencies should do something, pero ang ginawa nila, hugas kamay. Also, the Clean Water Act, RA 9275, amending PD 1067, or the Water Code of the Philippines. What is the policy of the state? Section 2, the state shall pursue a policy of economic growth in manner consistent with the protection, preservation, and revival of the quality of our fresh brackish and marine waters. Coverage of the Act, the law applies to water quality management in all water bodies. It primarily applies to the abatement and control of pollution of land base. Siguro kayong mga bata, mabuti dyan sa inyo when I visited your place in Mindanao, meron pa mga source of fresh water, potable water. But again, go to the urban places. Mas mahal na ngayon ang tubig sa gasolina. Diba? So that is the effect of our waters that are being polluted. And not only that. Section 27, RA 9275, discharging regulated water pollutants without the valid required discharge permit pursuant to this act or other permit was revoked for any violation or conditions therein. Kaya pasalamat tayo kay PRRD. Nung siyang naging presidente, siya lang ang may bayag na nagsarado sa Boracay. Kasi kung makikita natin, ganyan ang itsura ng mga industries kung magtapon sila ng kanilang water waste. During his time, that the Manila Bay was cleared of waste. Now, here is another jurisprudence. The case of Pollution Adjudication Board versus De La Merced. Facts of the case, Environmental Management Bureau, National Capital Region of the DNR inspected the Guadalupe Commercial Complex. The inspection team found that De La Merced and Sons had violated the Section 1 of DNR Administrative Order Number 2004-26 for operating air pollution source installation without a permit to operate, for operating the facility that discharges unregulated water pollutants without a discharge permit. Itong Guadalupe na to, kung nasa Maynila ka, nasa tabing dagat lang yan. Ay tabing ilog ng Pasig River sa along EDSA. Kaya kanilang wastewater from their establishment, hindi dumadaan yan sa processing. Dire-diretso na yan sa tubig. Kaya sila nakasuhan. So ano ang issue dito? Whether or not Section 28 of RA 9275 on the imposition of fines is unconstitutional under Section 19(1) Article 3 of the Constitution for being excessive. Pero tingnan natin kung paano nila binaboy o paano nila sinircumvent yung batas. No? Kino-question nila ngayon yung naibigay na penalty sa kanila. Dahil allegedly, wala naman daw batas na nagsasabi na kailangan na i-purify mo yung tubig bago mo itapon. Pero anong sabi ng korte? The Supreme Court notes that the attempt of respondent to assail the constitutionality of Section 28 of RA 9275 constitute a collateral attack. This contrary to the rule that issues of constitutionality must be pleaded directly. Unless the law is annulled in direct proceeding, the legal presumption of the law validity remains. So at least in-uphold nila yung ruling ng RTC. Okay. Another law, RA 6969, Waste Control Act. It mandates control and management of import, manufacture, process, distribution, use, transport, treatment, and disposal of toxic substance and hazardous and nuclear waste in the country. The Act seeks to protect public health and the environment from unreasonable risk proposed by the substance in the Philippines. But we all know, di ba sa atin, usong-uso ang ukay? Samantalang sa ibang bansa, basura na yan. Pero pagdating sa atin, ang daming yumayaman. Those are actually toxic substance, toxic matters, kasi binasura na nga nila. Pero, inaako natin. Here are some examples on waste disposals or abuses. Okay. This is the Manila Bay before. At kung napapansin ninyo, during the time of Mayor Estrada in Manila, sumakay siya ng bangka at yung MMDA, yung isang basurera, nagtapon siya ng basura. Tapos, kunwari, sinungkit ni Erap. Yung mga ganong klaseng example, pambababoy mismo sa batas natin. Sinong gumawa nun? Si public official. So anong wala doon? Values, ethics, and integrity. Nagpa-picture lang. Ito pa. Okay. This shows irresponsibility of people. Men are really just very irresponsible. Despite na meron tayong batas, pero ang tao, baliwala pa rin. So sa ganitong sitwasyon, anong nasasakripisyo? Kalusugan at saka kayamanang dagat. Ito rin ang isang jurisprudence regarding waste disposal. MMDA versus concerned resident of Manila Bay. This is latest. But it's the fact of the case. The petitioners were residents and organizations from Manila Bay who sought the rehabilitation of the bay and the protection of their constitutional right to a balanced and healthful ecology. They filed a petition before the Supreme Court alleging that various government agencies had failed to take actions to address the severe pollution and degradation of the bay. So what was the main issue here? Whether or not government agencies had failed to perform their constitutional duties to protect and preserve the environment, and whether or not the petitioners were entitled to a writ of continuing mandamus. Kaya naikwento natin kanina, yung ginawa nga ni Erap, no? Sumakay ng bangka, kumuha ng panungkit, nagtapon ng basura yung MMDA para meron siyang sungkitin. So anong klaseng government agency yan? Anong sabi ng korte? The Supreme Court ruled in favor of the petitioners and granted the writ of continuing mandamus. The court held that the government agencies named in the petition had indeed failed to perform their constitutional duty to protect and preserve the environment, and that the petitioners were entitled to relief. And true enough, during the presidency of PRRD, you also observed that he closed several business establishment along Rojas Boulevard until they complied with the rules on waste management and water disposal before they were able to retrieve their permit to operate. RA 7942, mining and quarrying operations. To me, I said, this is the most destructive human activities on earth. Trabaho ito ng mga inhenyero. Bakit most destructive? Tingnan natin ito. Ayan. Pasasabugin yung bundok, bubutasin, i-drill. Ano mangyayari ngayon? After they get all the minerals that they want, they will leave the place barren. Isipin na lang natin ang Ormoc tragedy. Kung di pa ninyo encounter yan, you can download and read the Ormoc tragedy. Makikita ninyo doon ang napakasamang epekto ng minahan. Pero despite sa laki ng damage na ginawa o nangyari doon sa Ormoc? Meron bang nakasuhan? Meron bang nabilanggo? Hanggang sa ngayon, naghihintay pa tayo ng resulta. Ayan. Kaya sinasabi ko, mining is the most destructive human activity ever. Sinong yumayaman dito? Industries. Who suffer? The entire community. Ano ang destructive impact ng mining? As you can see on the pictures, how destructive is mining to the environment in exchange of profit to big-time corporations. Ito ang itaring jurisprudence regarding mining. So this happens in Lagawi, Ifugao, here in Luzon. No? Ang pinag-uusapan lang naman dito, nagdemanda yung isang concessionaire. Kasi allegedly, yung mga tao doon sa Banawe ay ninanakaw ang mga minerals sa ilog na kanyang concession. Pero ang concessionaire na to, hindi naman siya taga doon. Negosyante lang na pumunta doon at i-declare ang isang parte ng ilog para gawin niyang quarry. Ngayon, nung kumukuha yung mga tao doon, inakusahan niya sila na nagnanakaw. Ang nagiging issue, the crucial issue for resolution is whether or not the facts charged in the information constitute an offense. Yan nga, kinasuhan niya yung mga taong bayan na kumukuha lang ng mga panggamit bahay sa kanilang sariling ilog. Porque meron siyang permit to quarry, akala niya sa kanya na. Anong sabi ng korte? Order of the respondent of the Court of First Instance of Lagawi, Ifugao, dismissing the information for theft of minerals filed against private respondents, Julius Robles and 13 others, on the ground that the facts charged do not constitute an offense. Okay? Kasi ang minerals nga naman, pag-aari ng Estado yan. Kung sinong ibe-benefit, dapat entire community. Hindi sa isang concessionaire lang. Hindi sa isang negosyante lang. Another law, RA 3701, an act to discourage destruction of forest. This is one of the global issues and challenges that society faces today, is deforestation. Mabuti pa dyan sa Mindanao kasi kahit pa paano may mga malalaking kahoy pa tayong nakikita. But the rest of the country, Visayas and Luzon, wala ka nang makita na talagang protected forest areas. Ito ang example ng deforestation. Ginawang kaingin, ang resulta, nakalbo na yung bundok. Anong maging epekto? Na-displace ang mga animals na namumuhay doon. Pangalawa, uminit ang temperature dahil nawala ang mga puno. This is just an exchange for a cash crop product that will benefit only a few. So, ang issue dito, bawal bang magkaingin? No? Bawal bang magkaingin? Sabi ng batas, hindi naman lahat bawal. Importante, kumuha ka ng permit sa Secretary of the DNR, i-check muna nila yan kung viable. If they will give you permit, then it's now the time to do the kaingin. Pero ang issue dito ngayon, ang DNR ba ginagawa nila ang trabaho nila para bantayan ang kagubatan? I do not know. Ito pa, ang impact ng deforestation. Kaingin at sakalaging. Yan ang dahilan. To the extreme right, makikita nyo ang epekto niyan nung nakalbo na yung bundok. It caused landslide. Our Philippine archipelago since 1900, 70% of our land area are forested. But after 99 years, in 1999, it decreased to 18.3% remaining forest area. And in 2010, our forest area only constitute 6.6%. I do not know the data as of this time, as of this year. Then nabanggit ko kanina that I have read an article stating that in 2050, there will be 7 cities in the Philippines that will be erased in the map. What will be the cause and what will be the reasons? It would be of several reasons, and mostly in the form of flooding. Because of the rise of the sea level, to include also landslides and other calamities. Here is another jurisprudence with regards to deforestation. So this happens there in your area in Mindanao, in Quibawi, Bukidnon, na merong isang nagkaingin ng at least 2 hectares. Ano nagiging issue dito? The main issue posed in this appeal from the order of the Court of First Instance of Bukidnon in its criminal case number 1563 is whether or not the information filed by provincial fiscal has placed the appealee in double jeopardy for the same offense. Kasi nangyari rito, desisyonan na ng CFI, pero inulit pa rin kinasuhan ng provincial fiscal. Kaya ano nagiging resulta? Ano ang ruling? Nagpetition yung mga dinemanda for double jeopardy, and the court granted that double jeopardy appeal. Another law, PD 705, revising PD 389, otherwise known as the Forestry Code or Forestry Reform Code of the Philippines. You know, during those times when President Marcos was our president, he designated Enrile to be the minister that will implement this law. And what happens? Ang daming ibinigay na laging concession si Enrile, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. Incidentally, he became a part owner of these logging industries. So kung ganoon ang mangyayari palagi, anong maaasahan natin na ordinaryong tao? Na kung sino pa ang naatasan na mag-implement ng batas ng maayos, sila pa yung nananamantala. Sa ngayon, ano na yung mga pinaguhuli? Ito na lang, maliliit na isda. I experienced at my young age also going to the forest and smuggle some logs. Ang lalaki ng puno. Hindi mo kayang tumbahin sa isang araw yung isang puno. Kahit tsenso pa ang gamit mo. Sa laki. Pero ngayon, meron ka na ba makikitang ganung puno? Wala na, melina na lang. Ito. Ano? Despite again of the strict implementation of the law, ang dami pa rin na gustong kumita at pinipilit magnegosyo ng mga kahoy. What is very disturbing is that in our place, yung nagbebenta ng mga kahoy, mga tabla na ganyan, taga-DNR mismo. Ano nang mangyayari sa batas natin? If the people who are tasked to implement are the ones violating it. Okay. Another jurisprudence with regards to forestry. This is a case Peoples versus Wilson BK. His truck was accosted by law enforcers in Ilocos Norte kasi meron siyang karga ng mga tabla ng nyog. Yun ang meron siyang permit. Pero sa ilalim noon, mayroong mga nakasingit na tabla na kahoy. Kaya siya hinuli. Kaya ano nagiging issue dito? Whether there are no existing forest laws and regulations which require certain legal documents for possession of timber and other products. Whether the law only penalizes possession of illegal forest products and that the possessor cannot be held liable if he proves that the cutting, gathering, collecting, or removal of such forest product is illegal. Yun ang contention ng nahuli. Sabi niya, hindi naman ako pumutol dyan eh. Binenta sa akin, binili ko lang. Pero anong sabi ng korte? Sabi ng korte, no. Possession by itself without permit is a violation of the law. Okay. Pero kung tutuusin, fingerlings lang yun. Ang malalaking isda, hindi nila kayang huliin. Another law, Republic Act 9147, the Wildlife Resources Conservation and Protection Act, or Endangered Species. The Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora, or CITES, is an international agreement between governments aiming to ensure the international trade in specimens of wild animals and plants does not threaten the survival of the species. CITES was adopted as a result of a resolution adopted in 1963 at a meeting of members of World Conservation Union and was finally agreed at a meeting of representatives of 184 countries in Washington, D.C., United States of America in March 3, 1973. And on July 1, 1975, was now signed into law. Ano mga sinasabi tungkol sa wildlife? Ito raw ang bawal. Bawal manghuli at bawal magbenta ng mga endangered species. At isa pa, paano ba natin malalaman kung ang isang hayop o tanim ay endangered na siya? Pagtungkol sa hayop, ito na yung mga mahirap mag-multiply at halos nauubos na, endangered. Ganon din sa mga halaman. Kaya halos ng Philippine variety na puno ay endangered na siya. Kaya makikita nyo, kung meron kayong pupunta kayo sa mga hardware and lumbers, saan nanggagaling ngayon ang mga lumber na nabibili natin? Either galing ng Malaysia or galing ng Thailand. Kasi wala na tayong Philippine trees na pwedeng pakinabangan. O ito pa. Nagbebenta ng ahas at kung ano-ano pa mga species. Bawal din po yan because sabi niya ang Natural Resource Biodiversity Management Bureau Senior Ecosystem Management Specialist Rogelio De Mentes Jr. of the Philippine Operation Group on Ivory Illegal Wildlife Trade or Task Force POGI, the composite team of the RMB and the National Bureau of Investigation present live tarantulas and ball pythons. Pero kung punta ka ng Maynila, doon ka sa may papuntang Divisoria, marami kang makikitang nagbebenta nito. Ayan. Ito endangered na rin. Pero karamihan kasi, hinahunting yan sa gabi at ginagawang pulutan. Ayan. Mga freshwater crocodiles. Endangered na rin yan. Ito. Ewan ko kung nakakita na kayo ng ganitong ibon. Sa amin dito sa Luzon, wala ka nang makita. Pero nung mga bata pa kami, marami yan. Sa ngayon, drawing na lang ang makikita ng mga bata. Ito yan sa Mindoro. Makikita nyo, in 1992, more than 10,000. In 2022, 200 na lang ang natira. Hinahunting kasi. And Visayas, WRTP. In 1990, meron silang 25,000 population. In 2022, 200 na lang. Negros Breeding Heart. In 1991, may 5,000. Ngayon, around 50 to 250 na lang. Philippine cockatoo. More than 12,000 in 1990, but in 2022, it only ranged now to 450 to 700 population. And then, Tinagat Basset Cloud Rat. Sa ngayon, nasa 300 na lang. Most endangered species, the Philippines forest turtle. 12,000 in 1991, sa ngayon nasa 600 na lang. Philippine eagle, monkey-eating eagle. 1990, nasa 10,000, sa ngayon, nasa 500 na lang. Okay. Buong mundo naman, Javan rhinos from 30,000 ngayon 76 na lang. Amur leopard sa 9,000 ngayon nasa 60 to 80 na lang. Sunda Island tiger sa 50,000 ngayon nasa 250 na lang. Mountain gorillas from 25,000 ngayon, nasa 680 na lang. Black rhino from 65 to 2,000. Tapanuli orangutan from 20,000 to 800. Yangtze finless porpoise from 12,000 to 500. Ayan. African forest elephant from 70 to 800, 70,000 to 800. Sumatra orangutan from 10,000 to 1,200. Hawksbill turtle from 15,000 to 2,000. Anong nangyari sa mga hayop na to? Anong ginawa? Anong nangyari sa kanila? Sinong bumiktima sa kanila? Tao mismo. No? Bakit anong ginawa ng tao? For commercial purposes. This is all about profit. All these abuses are because of profit. So environmental impact on ecological balance. Most obvious and perhaps the worst effect on impact of those violations is the extinction of animals in the wild. Over the past century, numerous animals went extinct because of trades, poaching, hunting endangered species. Tons of researches show that many of the world's most dangerous virus diseases emerged from the domestication and consumption of wild animals. Over the last decade, Ebola and the avian influenza have emerged as new virus diseases that can be linked to trading activities and consumption of contaminated wildlife. Science also shows that when these wildlife are taken into domestication, maninibago sila sa kanilang environment, and there they can easily be infected by viruses. And if infected by viruses and being eaten by man, then man will suffer the consequences. Kayo, di ba yung sa COVID-19 na yan, yung unang issue, sabi nila galing daw ng China dahil sa pagkain nila ng bat na hilaw. So let us have here another jurisprudence in terms of endangered species. DNR versus Velarde. Velarde was caught in his possession of a green iguana and he lacked the requisite certificate of wildlife registration or any permit from the DNR to justify her possession of the green iguana, which is listed as endangered in the National List of Threatened Animals, species in the DNR Administrative Order 2004-15. So what is the main issue here? Whether or not Velarde has violated the Endangered Species Act. The court said, in a decision penned by Presiding Judge Carlo Villarama and promulgated March 13, 2021, the court held the prosecution was able to establish all the necessary elements required to prosecute Velarde for illegal sale of one live green iguana, therefore convicting the accused for violation of RA 9147. Another environmental law, or known as Green Law, PD 1219, or the Coral Resource Development and Concession. What is the purpose of the law? To promote and regulate the exploration, exploitation, utilization, and conservation of coral resources where existing territorial waters or in the marine economic zone of the Philippines, to ensure the protection of these resources as provided under other existing laws. These decrees prohibit the gathering, harvesting, collecting, transporting, possession, sale, and exporting of ordinary corals in raw or processed form of commercial purpose. Paano naabuso ang corals natin at paano na sira? Makita natin dito, illegal fishing. Gumagamit sila ng dinamita. So, nasisira ang corals. Ang nasasakripisyo ngayon, yung mga isda na nakatira doon, nawawalan sila ng tirahan, namamatay at napaparalyze. Okay? Scientists are predicting that the Great Barrier Reef will become a geological relic in 27 years. In 1998, there was a massive global coral bleaching event. In 2010, there was another one. So kung magiging relic na lang yan, magiging revolto na lang siya, meaning to say, it will now function its purpose to contribute in the balance of ecology and in the environment. Here, kita nyo yung nabutas na yan? Every day, 30 million tons of carbon dioxide is poured into the ocean. Every day, the ocean is becoming too warm and acidic for the organisms that live there, and the acid is killing corals and many thousands of species. Ito yung mga epekto ng mga industrial waste disposal. Kung matatandaan ninyo, that was during the presidency of Pinoy, may dumating galing ng Taiwan at galing ng Canada, mga container vans. Ang nakadeclare doon, recyclable materials. Pero nung binuksan, puro basura pala. Kasi kung gaano kabastos ang ibang bansa, pinagbabasurahan tayo. Kung hindi pa yan nakita, hindi binalik sa kanila. Pero hindi natin alam, nung pabalik na sa kanila, hindi natin alam kung paano nila dinispose yun. Baka hinulog lang sa karagatan. So ito ang isang jurisprudence regarding corals. Santiago Argoncillo versus Court of Appeals. Facts: on August 1, 1990, an information filed by the Provincial Fiscal of Capiz charging Johnson's Sugkang, Policarpio Omiten, Elvis Villar et al. With the use of dynamite committed as follows. That at about 6:30 o'clock in the evening of May 1919, the seawater of Barangay Besiao, Ibisan, Capiz, Philippines, and with jurisdiction of this honorable court, the above named accused conspiring, confederating, and helping one another willfully, unlawfully, and feloniously catch, take, gather, and have in their possession and control different species of fish with the use of explosive. Ano nagiging issue? Whether or not petitioners point out that the fact that their explosive nor related paraphernalia were not found in their possession is an indication of their innocence. Kasi ang nahuli lang sa kanila yung mga isda na kanilang nakuha. Pero at nung in-examine yan ng BIFAR, makita nila na ang dahilan ng kanilang pagkahuli ay dahil sa bomba, pasabog. Pero ang contention ng mga nahuli, sabi nila, wala naman kayong nahuli sa amin na pampasabog. Paano nyo kami kakasuhan? Pero anong sabi ng korte? Petitioner argument and no merit. It is ridiculous to have expected that all the fish found in the accused fishing boat would be subjected to an examination. It is sufficient that, as in the case at bar, a random sample of the accused cats was examined and found to have been killed with the use of explosive. Hence, they are convicted. Okay. Executive Order 23, National Greening Program. Ano ba ito? What does the National Greening Program or the NGP of the DNR aim to do? It aims to do a massive forest rehabilitation program by the government that implemented in pursuit of sustainable development for poverty alleviation, food security, biodiversity conservation, environmental stability, and climate change, adaptation, and mitigation. This is an issue in October 2022. Tingnan ninyo ang budget allocation para dito. The current government allocation is 464.5 billion this year alone. This allocation is 60.1% higher than the 289.7 billion budget in 2022, the DBM said, as of May 3, 2023. Ang tanong ngayon, meron ba tayong mga visible government greening program project? Well, your guess is the same as mine. Ngayon, being future criminologists, ano naman ang maiko-contribute natin to hasten the environmental abuses? From yours truly, ito lang ang aking rekomendasyon. Meron tayong pinopose na Bachelor of Science in Green Criminology. At ito yung proposed curriculum. Ano ang purpose nito? Kasi kung tatandaan natin, and then actually meron akong isang ginawang research regarding food security. So I interviewed different government agencies. Ang lagi nilang sagot, wala daw sa kanila ang nakakaalam mag-imbestiga at nakakaalam mag-implement ng batas. So it dawns on me na kung ganun pala ang kanilang sitwasyon, hindi nila alam i-implement yung batas, hindi nila alam mag-imbestiga, concern natin mga criminology yan. Kasi di ba, ang isa sa division ng criminology is criminal etiology, which seeks to and state that criminal etiology is an attempt at scientific manner to study the causes of crimes. So it is high time na tayo sa criminology profession, pag-aralan natin. Gumawa tayo ng isang kurso, bachelor's degree, na pag-aaralan ang mga existing na batas, pag-aaralan ang mga abuses sa environment natin, tawag yan mga abuses ay green crimes, paano nila ginagawa, at pag-aaralan kung paano natin imbestigahan, at paano natin sila kakasuhan. At yung pag-imbestiga at pagkaso sa kanila, ang tawag dyan ay green forensic or environmental forensic. Siguro, kung magkakaroon lang sana tayong pagkakataon na itong kurso na to ay mai-offer at maraming mga kabataan ang kukuha nito at maintindihan nila kung ano ba ang mga environmental abuses, ano ba ang green crimes, paano imbestigahan ang green crimes, at paano kasuhan ang mga responsable sa green crimes na yan. Kakaroon na tayo ng green police. Yun lang siguro ang nakikita ko na pwede nating maitulong sa discipline natin in criminology. But of course, this proposed curriculum will now be a multidisciplinary. Why multidisciplinary? Siyempre yung instruction, manggagaling doon sa mga may specialization, katulad ng mga forester, mga marine scientists, and others, to compose a faculty that will teach and educate people about green criminology. So gentlemen and ladies, diyan po natin tatapusin ang topic natin ngayong hapon na to. And now, you have now the floor, you have now the line to raise some issues or raise some questions para titingnan natin sa maliit na kakayahan natin, matutulungan natin kayo na maintindihan pa yan. Thank you very much, and I'm waiting for your questions.
So thank you so much, Sir Garcia, for that detailed webinar. And for NEMCO Kaakbay students, you are now encouraged to raise your questions. So you can write down your questions at the Q&A button in our Zoom so that Dr. Garcia will be able to read it and answer it immediately.
Yes, the line is open now. Gentlemen and ladies, the line is open now for your query.
Sir, here's one question, sir, from John Leonar Caliso, sir.
Okay.
He is asking, sir, if what has been the actions given by the criminology field in combating environmental crimes as of the moment daw, sir.
Okay. Sa ngayon, wala pa tayong data. No? Wala pa tayong data. Kasi nga, wala pa tayong specialized field on environmental crimes and investigation. Kaya nga nagpro-propose tayo ng curriculum nang sa ganon, magkakaroon tayo ng mga enforcers of green laws, investigators of green crimes, and finally, maybe we can call them green policemen. I want to share to you this one thing. During the advent of the CMO 21 series of 2005, where yours truly is one of the technical working group, we endorsed their 2 courses, which is organized crime, investigation, and comparative police system. Under the organized crime investigation, at the end of the lessons, at the end of the book, meron tayong nilagay doon. Future law enforcers will be called cyber police. And true enough, after just a few years, lumabas ngayon yung cybercrime law, which now constitute some specialized agencies that are now enforcing or that are now investigating about cyber crimes. Hence, they are considered as cyber policemen. I do believe that someday, somehow, if we in the Philippines will adopt this curriculum, green criminology, we can come up with special forces or a special group that really take a close look and investigate crimes related to environmental crimes and file cases accordingly. With that, maybe we can do something and to mitigate the impact of these environmental crimes. Again, I said, as of this moment, I do not have any statistic to show if there is a contribution here in the Philippines among us criminologists in the implementation of green laws. Yan lang po ang pwede kong isagot doon.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So, sir, here's another question, sir, from
Yes.
Angelo Espino, sir.
Yes.
And I mean, he messaged me, sir, asking about to ask you, sir, if is there a role daw po of research, sir, in combating this environmental crime, sir. Again, for the information of everyone, Dr. Mario Garcia is also the president of the Federation of Authors in Criminology and Criminal Justice Incorporated. So again, sir, his question, Mr. Angelo Espino wants to ask, sir, if how can research help battle environmental crime, sir?
Very good question. Actually, that is our concern. That is our advocacy. So we are also encouraging you, being graduating students or graduating class, focus on research about environmental crimes so that we can contribute. I observed that a lot of researchers, especially in the field of forestry, in the field of agricultural engineering, but they do not deal on how to investigate, on how to prosecute, on how to determine these violations. Pero ang mga research nila is how to exploit these resources. So exploitative ang kanilang research. Sa atin, ang target natin dito pag tayo ang mag-research, ang abuses na nangyayari. So that how can we address? As of this point in time, doon sa mga nag-submit sa atin sa Federation of Authors ng mga papers nila in relation to environmental crimes, I only encountered one yet. And that was published on our journal in December 2022 issue. That is regarding the coral reef of Gonzaga, Cagayan, here in Luzon. A research conducted by Dr. Faculty of Criminology in CSU, Cagayan, Gonzaga, Cagayan. So far, yun pa lang ang nakita ko na research ng criminology in relation to environmental cases. And napakaganda po yung findings niya at yung kanyang recommendation. However, ang recommendation niya sa assessment natin, it would be way too long to achieve. Kasi sinasabi niya, dapat nga magkaroon ng mga green police. Pero paano nga mangyayari yun? Kasi yung mga nagbabantay doon sa kanilang karagatan, yung mga, ang tawag natin dito, yung mga port police, no? Pero hindi naman yun ang tinututukan nila. Ang binabantayan yung mga smuggling daw. No? Mga nag-i-smuggle daw ng goods. Wala silang pakialam sa nangyayaring abuses doon sa karagatan ng lugar nila. So we need more researches indeed regarding environmental abuses. So be part of it. No? Kaya ini-encourage natin ang lugar ninyo kasi sa July magkakaroon tayo dyan ng isang convention sa Siargao. Malapit kayo doon. If you have researches like that, please submit it and present. And we will see how can it help. No? Paano natin ito pararating sa mga kinauukulan nang sa ganun makatulong tayo sa pag-preserve ng ating environment. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Espino, for the question, and Sir Garcia. Sir, I have also one here from Chrismar Lopez, sir. So this is not a question, sir, but rather he is seeking advice, sir. So he told me, sir, na he is an inspiring SK chairman daw po, sir. And then for now, he has been participating in various activities such as tree planting, mangrove planting, sir, and malunggay planting. So
Okay.
as an expert of this field daw po, sir, what can you advise him if he will be elected as SK chairman of their place, kung ano po daw yung mas maganda pa pong mga activities in protection the environment, sir?
Okay, thank you. With regards to tree planting, ang viability viability and sustainability kasi nito depende sa sitwasyon kung yung tinataniman mo private or public property. Ang issue natin kasi dito, kung makita nyo yung last presentation natin tungkol doon sa National Greening Program, bilyon-bilyon ang halaga. Pero meron bang maituturo ang mga taga-DNR na pinagkagastusan nila na puno? I tried to interview, ito ang sagot nila. Yung tinanim namin, sinunog ng mga farmers at saka pinakain sa kalabaw. Okay. Being ang SK chairman and you want to advocate tree planting or green revolution in your place, this is what I can advise you. Make a proposal that the city, if your place is a city, municipality, or the LGU in your place, will designate a location na talagang naka-design lang siya ng tree planting. No? And encourage young people to plant trees. But again, do not plant melina. Do not plant mahogany. Because these are stupid varieties that are not fitted to our Philippine soil. Plant native Philippine varieties. Why is it that it is necessary that it will be specifically designated and titled, as a place for green revolution? That is so that you can sustain and you can do the maintenance. Kasi ang problema rito, ang mga gobyerno natin, nagtatanim pero walang follow-up, walang maintenance. Ang nakakahiya pa rito, makikita natin, kung kunyari nagtitree planting sila, merong isang farmer, siya ang naghukay, siya ang nagtanim. Darating ngayon ng mga nakabarong, uupo doon at ituturo yung puno, magpipicturan. Sino yung nagtanim? Wala na. No? Umalis doon. Mangyayari doon sa punong itinanim? Wala. Mamamatay lang. Pagwapuhan lang kasi. Kaya iho, kung talagang porsigido ka sa advocate mo, yun ang advice ko sa iyo. Let the LGU determine or specify a place that you are going to develop. And do all possible try to extract all resources possible to improve that place so that it will become a model forest area in your place. Then document it properly, submit regular reports on that to the LGU so that by the time that all your plants will grow, maybe the government can make that as a model and your place will earn something from it. But take note, guys, devoting time and advocating time in green criminology is not possible in one overnight sleep. It is a long process. It is a tedious process. It is a tedious advocacy. And thank you very much. At ikaw, may iniisip kang ganyan. Mabuhay kayo. Sana maraming tutulad sa'yo. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sir Garcia, and I hope you are listening properly, Chris Mar Lopez, that Dr. Garcia admired you of that drive of helping our environment. So, sir, we have another question here at Zoom from Ernalyn Cornites. So,
Yes.
her question, sir, is, why don't we stop mining companies, sir, without looking to the future economy?
Very good question again. Now, the issue is, it is a fight against the local government and multinational corporations. Take note, during the time of Gina Lopez, talagang umiyak siya. He surveyed the entire country and find out the destructive mining operations, and he stopped several of it. But what happened? No? The CA or the Commission on Appointments did not appoint her. Why? Of course, these people in the CA have an interest in mining. They are investors in mining, and they do not want that their profit will be cut off. That's why they did not appoint her. Instead, they appoint Simatu. They appoint Simatu. Now, meron bang ngipin si Simatu being a retired military officer? We do not know. We do not know. Kasi yung mga malalaking kumpanya ng pagmimina, nagbalikan ulit. So kung ang tanong mo, why don't we stop? I go with you. dapat sana tumigil na ito. Kasi when I was in Ilocos Norte and I conducted a research and find out na yung mga Taiwanese, mga Chinese, mga Japanese, nag-donate sila sa province of Ilocos ng isang building ng bahay ampunan. Ngayon, doon nila dinadala yung mga old age nila sa kanilang bansa. Libre yun yung facility. Tapos, nag-employ sila ng mga Pilipino. Kaya sabi nila, you see, we create job for you. Pero no, ang kapalit nun, sabi nila, tulungan namin kayo na mag-dredge sa ilog ninyo. Kasi yung ilog, nawala na yung tubig. Puro, ano na lang, puro sediments. No? Ang nangyayari, yung hinuhukay nila ng mga lupa doon, dinadala sa kanilang bansa at itinatambak sa tabing dagat nila. Kaya nangyayari ngayon, lumalaki ang kanilang landmass, ang sa atin, lumiliit ang ating landmass. Kasi habang hinuhukay mo, habang dinedredge mo yan, yung nasa taas na bundok, aagos at aagos yan tuwing uulan. Hanggang sa maubos yung bundok. At maalala pa ninyo, merong isang issue, biglang namatay na issue yun, sa bandang Zambales. One time, biglang lumubog ang 2 kilometers inward, no? Galing sa tabing dagat papasok sa island. Biglang lumubog 2 kilometers ang width, tapos nasa 20 kilometers ang length. Anong cause nun? Hinukay pala ng mga China, mga Chinese yun, at yun ang ginawa nilang artificial island sa Spratlys. No? Pero ang nangyari, walang investigasyon na nangyari. Pero ang suspect doon, binenta ng gobyerno. Ngayon, paano natin ito mapapatigil? Kung yung mga mismong hinahalal natin ng mga tao, sila ang gumagawa. Sila ang nagkakapera. So redound again sa political will at kung sino yung mga binobotos natin. I'm very sorry to say, but these are facts na ayaw lang banggitin at ayaw pang ilabas sa mga social media. Bakit? Eh, alam naman natin kung sinong tumokontrol sa mga social media. Eh. Kaya yan natin kailangan ang mga talagang green policeman na may kaalaman sa pag-imbestiga at may puso at may bayag na ipaglaban at linisin ang mga kabulastugan sa ating kapaligiran. So again, para sa akin, this is again a long way advocacy to go. Paano natin lalabanan na ang gumagawa niyan ay mga multinational corporations in collusion with our political figures? Paano natin ito lalabanan? It would be a fight like David and Goliath. But to hope with our advocacy, we can do something in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. So we have another question from Anonymous, sir. So based
Yes.
on the facts given today, sir, do we really have progress on reversing the effects of global warming?
Merong isang issue ngayon na yung mga countries na nag-emit ng napakaraming carbon dioxide, nagpapalit na sila ng mga energy sources. Gumagamit na sila ngayon ng mga renewable source like windmill, solar power, in exchange of those original sources na nanggagaling sa mga fossil fuels. And hope that if this technology will be advanced, then that would be a great move of humanity in order to restore yung mga damage na nagawa na natin. And our president, no less than Bongbong Marcos, made a pronouncement when he was in the United States. Sabi niya, merong mga science ngayon na pinag-aaralan. Ang problema kasi natin ngayon, yung battery storage. Kung paano ba makabuo ng isang battery storage na pangmatagalan at malaking energy ang kanyang i-store. At meron silang under experiment na yung mga minerals na yan abundant sa Philippines. Marami sa atin sa Pilipinas. And also in Europe, meron silang undergoing experiment na pwedeng gawing battery storage. Yung yung mga bahay ng talangka, yung mga crabs, yung pinagkainan ng crabs na yan, yun ang pinaprocess nila at gagawing battery storage. Those are actually some commendable moves that humanity are doing in trying to restore the damage that we have caused. But again, the issue here is that it would be a fight against multinationals versus a small scientist. Kung maalala ninyo, at kung meron kayong nabasa na ganito, merong isang Filipino scientist, nakagawa siya ng isang technology na ang gamit ay tubig. Meron siyang splitter na yung tubig ini-split ng dalawang elemento yan, hydrogen and oxygen, so that it will create energy. Pero nag-prosper ba yun? Wala. Bakit? Hindi sinuportahan ng mga multinationals at hindi sinuportahan ng gobyerno natin. Kaya nawala yung issue na yan. And these are now under reserves that we can still have the opportunity to tap them and try to rediscover them. In that way, we can help in the restoration of our ailing earth. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. So we have one last question, sir, from Vicente Escultura, sir. So
Yes.
he is asking, sir, na he's from Siargao daw po, sir, from General
Okay.
Luna to be exact, sir. So he's also an aspiring SK chairman, sir. He is asking, sir, if how can we help tourism by this criminology, by this green criminology daw po, sir.
Okay. Ang karamihan dito nasagot pagka LGU ang kausap mo, sabihin nila IEC, Information and Education. So that is really a challenge to us in the LGU. No? So siyempre tourist yung mga dumarating sa atin and it's there we earn income. Kumikita ang lugar natin pagdating ng mga turista. The problem is that how do we inform them? How do we educate them in terms of waste disposal, in terms of water conservation, in terms of any other matters in relation to the protection of our environment. Marami tayo ngayong mga beaches na pinupuntahan, may nakasulat doon. Basura mo, iuwi mo. Basura mo, iuwi mo. Pero natutupad ba ito? O hanggang karatula na lang siya? So that is a challenge to you, iho. Future Barangay SK Chairman. Make it as an advocacy. Make the program operational and workable. Ang karamihan kasi, ang hirap kasi sa atin sa Pilipinas, ang karamihan hanggang umpisa lang tayo. Okay, maganda yung umpisa. Pero yung sustainability, doon tayo tumitiklop. Ang dami mga magagandang programa na ini-implement ng mga NGOs, mga LGUs. However, hindi nila kayang i-sustain. Bakit? Natatabunan doon sa profit interest. Kung makikita nila na walang profit, wala na. Lalo kayong mga kabataan. Pag i-propose ninyo yan at narinig ng magulang nyo, baka ang tanong sa'yo, bakit? May kikitain ka ba dyan? Yun ang mga challenges na sinisiguro ko na ma-encounter ninyo. So, the issue is change in exchange of profit. Anong unahin natin? Profit o pagbabago? Now, the decision is yours. And we hope na we will see you there. Kasi ang venue natin doon sa July 20 to 22 na convention, doon mismo sa lugar ninyo. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's from GL Good, sir, from Katangnan, the proper of Cloud9, the surfing spot of Siargao, sir. He's from that area po, sir.
Oh, yes, yes.
So do we have any other questions?
Can we show the pictures of the attendees so I can take a snapshot?
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mga iba dyan na may iniisip pang gustong itanong, you can raise them para sa kahit pa paano kung ano man pwede nating maitulong